Christianity and Buddhism. Compare and contrast. Christianity is the belief in a single God named Yahweh, and He is infinite and perfect, being omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent. Buddhism is a non-theism, or the practice without the use or belief of the presence of God. Although devas do exist, or devas translating to gods, they are said to be trapped in samsara, or a cycle of existence, which is defined as a continuous repetitive cycle from birth to death, so that they aren't any wiser than any humans and can be potentially surpassed. Just like Christianity of the Holy Trinity consisting of God, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, Buddhism has something similar called the Three Jewels. They are known as Gautama Buddha, the Awakened One, Dharma, the teachings, and Sangha, the community. In Buddhism, there is no belief or kind of aspect to where they follow the past or they look towards the future, but the now, called the eternal now or new age, meaning that they live into what is present and they don't focus on the past or they don't worry about the future. They live in the now and what's going on. There is no God being praised in Buddhism because Buddha himself is a human just like everyone else. He's equal. The goal of Buddhism is to reach Nirvana, and Nirvana literally means blown out. The term comes into play when you think of the fires of desire, selfishness, aversion, delusion, and egotism, and you extinguish those flames. To rid of the flames that cause suffering and to meet with complete peace, exiting the cycle of suffering and enter into rebirth or reincarnation. Buddhists believe in reincarnation, the belief that you go through a process of living life as a different sentient being in a cyclical manner from birth until death. The doctrine of anatta, or not self, rejects the concept of permanent self or unchanging eternal soul. There are 6 realms in reincarnation, such as Naraka, living in one or many hells, Preta, sharing space with humans but invisible to most, animals, humans, Azurus, or low deities, demons, titans, or anti-gods, or Devas, deities, gods, spirits, and angels. If you ever use the term karma in your life, then you know that karma means action or work, and it's a force that drives samsara. Karma basically sums up the actions of a person in a previous life or previous state of mind that in turn determines their future fate. There is a teaching called the Four Noble Truths. The first is the truth of suffering, saying that suffering is a universal thing. No matter where your social class stands, people experience suffering in their lifetime. We need to understand that this happens, and this is the first noble truth. The second is the truth of the cause of suffering, stating that there is a root or a reason to why we suffer. Mostly, this suffering is a result of our own wants or desires, or us clinging on to things or concepts or emotions. The third is the truth of the end of suffering, stating that we can end the suffering by detaching ourselves from this greed or from this want or this desire that humans so hold on to. Ending the suffering can lead to happiness and peace and a prosperous life and a more efficient life. The fourth and final is the truth of the path leading to the end of suffering, stating that we must find a comfort zone to end this suffering, something that can suit our life and help us understand ourselves a little bit better. Then there are the Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path consists of right of view, understanding the Four Noble Truths fully, right intention, living a very good and prosperous life, right speech, using words positively instead of negatively, right action, to not lie, steal, murder, hurt, or any type of immoral action, etc. Right livelihood, life of peace that helps the environment. Right effort, morally kind, helpful to the life of others. Right mindfulness, understand your emotions but not cling on to them. Don't be too attached because it'll just be easier that way. And right concentration, or right meditation, to let your mind go and to just relax. In comparison to Buddhism, Christians do not believe in many gods or gods that can be surpassed. Instead, we believe in a single God named Yahweh. Also, that there is a past, future, and eternity, but we're stuck in the middle. Instead of where Buddhism, they believe in the eternal now or the new age. Christians believe in God and Jesus, the Holy Son, which Jesus is 100% human and 100% deity, 100% God. Instead of Buddha, who is just human and has reached the state of Nirvana. Although Christians don't follow Nirvana like Buddhism does, we kind of are taught and raised to kind of get rid of these emotions and desires in order to be welcomed into the kingdom of heaven, but we do not believe in the cycle of reincarnation. In Christianity, you're not supposed to believe in karma or black magic or superstition, but in Buddhism, karma kind of works as a driving force of samsara. karma basically sums up the actions of a person's previous life and determines their future fate. I don't believe there's a really good way for my knowledge at this extent to kind of compare and contrast the Four Noble Truths or the Eightfold Path into Christianity, other than the first thought in my head would be to compare it or contrast it to the Ten Commandments distributed by God unto Moses and Moses unto man. There are other sites and videos to compare and contrast Buddhism and Christianity, but this is just a quick little video about how Buddhism works in comparison and in contrast with Christianity. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.